What is going on YouTube? Mr. Josh for the win, bringing you a Persona 5 Royale top 5 personas list for Joker. And I just want to go right away and say Arsene is the best. He's literally the best. Best in the game. Arsene is literally the best. He's better than anyone. He's better with fire. He's better with curse, ice, you name it. He is the best. Definite card. What is going on YouTube? Mr. Josh for the win, bringing you another Persona 5 Royale video. And today we're going to be doing the top 5 personas in Persona 5 Royale. And we're going to get right into the video, starting off with our honorable mentions. Now, my honorable mentions isn't so much to say that these guys are not the top 5. Well, one specifically is definitely not, but there's a good argument which I will address. But for my honorable mentions, I'm specifically marking out 2 specific characters just because they're always on top 5 lists, and I kind of want to like show off some other characters. So for the first 2, it's gonna be Shinki Oji and Reganda. Those 2 are really good. Honestly, you can really get to pretty high level areas with just them on your team. They're pretty stupid, especially for high level or mid gameplay, I guess you could say. They're pretty good. But they're usually on every single top 5 list that I've seen so far, or at least top 10, so I'm trying to give shine to some other characters. Next is Maria, who, don't get me wrong, is an amazing character when it comes to, support and healing, but that's exactly why I'm not putting her in the top 5 list, just because she doesn't do damage, or she's not meant to do damage. She's supposed to be your healer, of course. And lastly, Arsene. Now, a lot of people do argue that Arsene is one of the best personas, but that the argument is that you can build Arsene from level 1 up in order to, be whatever you want him to be, right? He's the easiest to get to, like, the best stats for whatever you want. And though that argument is good, in Persona 5 Royale, that same argument could be made against Jack-o'-lantern, and the game would, like, literally the entire Persona community would freak out if I put Jack-o'-lantern at number 1, if you get what I'm saying. Especially because with the new fusion alarms, or the alarm system in the Velvet Room, that whole system allows you to get everything to level 99 regardless of your rank. So, I think you guys can see my argument why Arsene should not be in the top 5 spot for personas, especially with our other contestants, who I'll be showing right now with number 5. So for my number 5 spot, I'm putting Fafnir. Now, for those of you who don't know Fafnir, he's a persona that can only be caught in the 3rd semester area of the game. My personal advice for you is to lower his health and then use the drop shot skill that you can get from the Tower Confidant story mode at the arcade. But anyways, Fafnir is a pretty helpful persona late game because he has the ability to reflect both gun and physical attacks while also being able to absorb nuke and fire with the resistance to electricity, which literally sets you up for the entire final palace. The next mini bosses you fight after getting Fafnir are literally at the hugest disadvantage when fighting Joker, because all they do is, regen your health and do like minuscule damage, especially Cert, who I believe is the second to last mini boss. And along with that, he also comes with really high base stats for magic and comes with some severe nuke skills, which definitely gives him the right to be in the number 5 spot. So at the number 4 spot, I'm placing the tank Aliat. So Aliat is a really easy persona to rank because of his tanking ability. Not only is this persona the easiest to give defense to every stat, but it is also really decent damage and also has a really good mix of ice skills with him if you choose to go that route. So at base, he can repel gun, physical, drain ice, and can nullify psychokinesis. And after that, you can also get 6 more nullify, resist, or absorb skills to go right on top of that. And then you got yourself a good Persona 5 Royale tank. From there, you can either go with healing, damage, or support skills with your last 2, but it's your choice. In the picture, this user used support skills, which personally I disagree with. I'd go with ice, but honestly the choice is yours. Either way, you got yourself the number 4 persona. So for the number 3 spot, I'm actually gonna put Lucifer. Now,
brother, this guy stinks!
However, in Persona 5 Royale, that's not the case. Due to this game's alarm system in the Velvet Room, Lucifer has acquired his top spot within Persona 5 Royale. Starting off with the ability to nullify gun and physical attacks, resist fire, ice, lightning, and wind, plus drain curse. With his one weakness being bless attacks, he's really good. Okay. Along with that, Lucifer is giving Morning Star, which is the hardest hitting almighty attack in the game, plus Forbidden Knowledge, which reduces the cost of magic skills by 75%, which you can also get, the spell buff, or whatever it's called. What is it called? Spell Master, which also reduces it even further. Like, come on now, with the hardest hitting attack in the game, it's kind of hard not to love him. On top of that, you're giving ample room for your box to equip whatever skills you want. Almighty Boost, Almighty Amp, as well as a lot of stuff to defend yourself or cover the blessed weakness that you have, or the, reduced damage to fire and stuff. You can also have Reflect and Absorb to all of that. It's really hard to say that he's not good anymore. Along with that, he's given the ability to tank, he's given the ability to do heavy amounts of damage. How can he not be number 3? I don't get it. So for number 2, I placed by far my favorite persona, Yoshitsune. He's giving at base the ability to resist fire, repel lightning, and nullify physical attacks, which may not seem a lot, but there's definitely a lot of room to improve all his other stats, which I'll explain in a bit. So as you can see, he's a one-trick wonder. This guy literally scaled to the top of my rankings with just one attack, and that's Hasitobi, or Tobi, sorry. Hasitobi is literally the one attack that has saved me from so many sticky situations, I can't even count. He's the reason why I beat Lavenza, as well as Justine and Caroline on Merciless. This one guy and this one skill has really saved me in a lot of my situations. Now his main skill, Hasitobi, deals light physical damage to all foes 8 times, which may seem like a little bit, but at like normally this thing will do at least 100 plus 200 damage each time it hits. That's ridiculous. Now 100 through 200 is maybe a little bit rough. It also depends on the difficulty. I played on Merciless, so at the most, against Lavenza, the Reaper, all of them, it probably did 110 every hit, maybe 80 even, but this scales even further with a trait that isn't currently on the image above, but the trait Will of the Sword, I believe it's called, which triples your charge ability or your concentrate. Now put that on an attack like Hasitobi, which does 8 hits with charged times 3. Need I say more? This thing literally shreds any boss, anything in the game. Imagine the final boss. I'm not gonna say who the final boss is, but if you've been through the final boss, you know he has multiple targets on his arms specifically. His arms, he has the little things in front. You can also target the actual boss itself in the head. Now imagine you hitting all of those targets with straight light attacks 8 times with Will of the Sword charged. Disgusting. You literally, nothing compares. I don't know what can do more damage except for the number 1 spot, of course, we'll get into right now. Of course, I gotta put Santanile at the number 1 spot. All the articles I've read, all the YouTube videos, all my friends, myself from all the gameplay I've completed can probably agree with me when I say Santanile is probably the best persona, especially with his traits. There's no comparison. He's kind of like Lucifer, honestly. He feels really similar to Lucifer, except better in so many ways, except maybe his defense probably isn't the highest, but his defense is still pretty great. This guy is strong against physical, gun, fire, ice, wind, lightning, psychokinesis, and nuke. And he drains curse with his one weakness being blessed, but that can obviously be fixed. Along with that, he's given Black Viper, which yes is statistically slightly weaker than Morning Star. You guys can check many YouTube videos on it. But the thing about it is that with both Santanile's trait and the skill Tyrant's Mind, that small distance, and damage is void. It doesn't matter. So Tyrant's Mind gives him a 50% buff to all attacks, and Pagan's Allure, which is his trait, gives an additional 50% magic damage buff, which obviously makes him the strongest in the game. He's the strongest in the game. He has 100% plus to his his damage, especially magic. Plus with concentrate, that's even higher. I think you kind of get what I'm doing here. He tanks. He has extremely high damage with the right cards. He's literally invincible to any attack pretty much. How can he not be number one? I don't get it. I'm sorry guys. This is my number one spot. A lot of people would argue that Yoshitsune is above, but I will say not that many enemies are gonna take the same amount of physical damage, which is why I put him a little bit below. Fighting enemies like the Reaper, for example, using, you know, Almighty is just better in general. So this is why I'm putting Santonai on my top spot. He does too much damage. He can tank. What more did I gotta say? Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that is gonna be it for this YouTube video. I believe starting next week is going to be the change of my upload schedule. Kind of just uploaded this video to kind of try to fix it. I don't know. I'm going to start a new series officially on Wednesday, and then I'm not going to post again till Sunday in order to continue the little series I'm doing. And we will all get to see that series when it comes out. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for this video. Hit that like button, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.